everyone, my name is Shauna in case you don't know, and welcome back to another video. Before I get into this video, if you hear noise in the background, it is because I have a natural area right next door to my house, and unfortunately the city that I live in is doing construction on the natural area because it's a city-owned property, and this happens to be the only time I can film this week, so it is what it is. Even though it's noisy, I'm going to be filming right now. Today I'm going to be showing all of you my physical ARC collection. ARCs are advanced readers copies. Most of the time I get my ARCs through NetGalley, and when you get them through NetGalley they are only digital, so you access them on your Kindle or your phone or your laptop. However, I have realized that I've started to gain somewhat of a ARC collection for physical ones, meaning like paperback books. So ARCs are uncorrected, so they will have typos. Occasionally small things get changed in the final copy, and you can't sell ARCs, you can't buy ARCs. So the way that I get ARCs is through giveaways. Now, if I were brave, I would be contacting different publishing companies to request ARCs, but I'm not brave, so I just enter giveaways. And all of the giveaways that I have won on Goodreads so far, I've won ARCs. I haven't won any finished copies. So this is where I've gotten most of my ARCs, but there's one ARC that I've gotten elsewhere, and I'll explain that when I get to that ARC. So I'm just going to be showing you all of the ones that I have. A lot of these are young adult, but they do cover a wide variety of topic matters and subjects, so let's crack on into this. So to start off with, I'm going to be starting with the one that I'm currently reading, and I'm really enjoying this one. It is amazing so far, and that is A Lot Like Adios by Alexis Daria. This one comes out on September 14th, and I am loving it so far. It is a romance. It's childhood best friends to lovers, but they had somewhat of a like falling out, and so they're sort of like getting back together and reuniting. I'm really enjoying it. It's very steamy, and normally I don't like steamy books, but I'm really enjoying the author's writing style. It is flowing so well, and the characters are just so lovable, and they have such great chemistry with each other. So this one was won in a Goodreads giveaway. Next one from a Goodreads giveaway is Legend Born by Tracy, Dion. This one I have been seeing hyped up all across the bookish world on social media. This one was super high on my TBR when I requested it, and I haven't gotten around to reading it yet, partly because I got an advanced reader's copy and it arrived on the day that the book released. This one went on sale September 15th of last year. I don't really know much about Legendborn, I just know that it has like a beautiful cover, and when I have read the synopsis I really thought that it was interesting, but I don't remember what it's about off the top of my head. Next up is the ARC that I didn't win from a Goodreads giveaway, and I have a little bit of a story for this one. This is Frostblood by Ellie Blake. This one had been on my TBR for such a long time. I'd seen it hyped up on like the bookish worlds for a while, and so I was at Goodwill one day and I found this book and I picked it up, and I was like, hey, I have been wanting to read this, it's been on my TBR. So I just got it. I didn't really look at it thoroughly, and then I got home and I was like, this back looks interesting, and I looked at the bag and I realized it was an ARC. Unlike the other ARCs, this one doesn't have any symbol on the front to notify that it's an ARC. This one went on sale in January of 2017, so this one has been out for a really long time. Technically I was not supposed to buy it from Goodwill, however I didn't realize this was an ARC until I bought it. So yeah, this was my first ever ARC that I got. I didn't know what to do at the time because I was like, oh crap, I bought an ARC and you're not supposed to be selling or buying ARCs. But then the more that I thought about it, the more I was like, I'm giving love to this ARC that it wouldn't have gotten otherwise, because this person clearly didn't want to keep the ARC. So I was like, it's okay to have it, I guess. Also, when you buy from Goodwill, you support like good places and a good company, so I guess it's okay that I bought this ARC, although generally try to avoid buying ARCs because that's illegal. Next up is The Shadow in the Glass by J.J.A. Harwood. This one came out on May 4th of this year. This is a Cinderella retelling that sounds really interesting. Beautiful cover. I won this in a Goodreads giveaway. I'm saving the two ARCs that I finished for last so that I can easily tell you what they're about. So I have 3 more that I haven't read yet, and then 2 that I have read. The next one up is The Charm Offense by Alison Cochran, and it goes on sale 9/7/21. The Charm Offense, I think, has gay representation in it, and that is all I know, and it has a cute cover. If a book has like an interesting cover and it sounds even slightly interesting on Goodreads, I request it. And look at that, I've won a lot of Goodreads giveaways. Also, stick around to the end of this video because I will be giving you some tips on how to win Goodreads giveaways, because there are some tips and tricks to winning them. It's not just all luck. Next up, I have The Last Legacy by Adrienne Young. Adrienne Young is a popular author. I believe she wrote Fable and that book was very popular. The Last Legacy comes out on September 17th. I'm really looking forward to reading it. Not super familiar with what it is about, but I do know that it is fantasy. As with most of these books, most of them are fantasy, I feel like. I just really like fantasy. And yeah, so that's The Last Legacy. And for the final one that I haven't read yet, this is The Lost Girls, a vampire revenge story by Sonia, Hartle. And this one goes on sale on September 14th. This is a queer vampire story. It says getting over your vampire ex is as easy as killing him and stealing his girlfriend. I love lesbian representation. I love vampire stories. I'm already obsessed with this book. Also, it's pretty short, so hopefully I'll read this one very soon. And now onto the two that I've read. Unfortunately, I wasn't a huge fan of either of these two, but I am going to show you them because they are part of my advanced readers copy collection, and I am really grateful that I was able to read these books. These two were also won through Goodreads giveaways. So first up, I have Cool for the Summer by Dahlia Adler. Cool for the Summer is a love triangle that happens with this main character, Laura, and she is in a love triangle with this girl and this guy. So of course there is LGBTQ+ representation in here. It is a contemporary set book. Unfortunately, I felt like there was so much miscommunication that could have just solved the whole issue in the book. So I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I can see why people would be a huge fan of it. And if it was made into a movie, I could see how it could be like as popular as To All the Boys I've Loved Before. And the final arc that I have to show you in today's video is China Room. China Room is by Sanjeev Sahota. I probably butchered that author's name. This is a historical fiction book, and I have really been wanting to branch into historical fiction this year, so I was really glad that I won this one in a giveaway. Unfortunately, it really was a big miss for me. So there's two different plot lines. There's a plot line in the past where there's this arranged marriage happening and forbidden love happening at the same time. That plotline is really messy. And the other plotline is a little more in the future, but it's still in the past, about this guy who was sort of like overcoming his drug addiction. And so it is very triggering, this book, as you can probably tell. A major issue I had with this book is I didn't feel that it was very empowering for women. I felt like the women were sort of just like objects of sexual desire for the men in the book. And this book is partly based on a true story, so I feel really bad saying that, but it truly is what was happening with the woman in this book. Like, they have no, like, strong elements to them, and even when you, like, get to see their inner thoughts, I'm like, why don't you have any empowering thoughts or any other thoughts other than just, I'm a servant and I'm a wife and I'm there to pleasure the guys? Like, is a little frustrating to me. I am really glad that I got to read this book though. So now here's how to win Goodreads giveaways. So Goodreads giveaways, you can access it on the website. When you're on the website, you want to click on the Browse tab, and then it will pull down some options. You want to click on the giveaways. Now I recommend entering giveaways with books that you have shelved, like books with similar genres, the ones you have shelved, because that increases your chances. So if you want to win a fantasy book, then add more fantasy books to your want to read shelf on Goodreads, or review more fantasy books. That will increase your chance of winning those ones. And the more active that you are in groups, the higher chance you will be able to win giveaways. I am active on Goodreads groups 2+ hours a day. Goodreads groups are my main form of socialization with people, since with COVID I can't get out and see people, and it just, talking about books sometimes feels better than going on Twitter and interacting with people talking about politics nonstop. And then if you happen to win a giveaway, you need to read that book and review it pretty quickly, because that will increase your chance of winning more giveaways. And then this one, I haven't found any other person saying anything to back this up, but I have noticed that as my friends on Goodreads increase the number of friends, the number of giveaways that I win also increase. So in short, just be active and shelve books and genres that you want to win, and enter any giveaway that seems interesting, and you will have a chance to win. Now, if you don't do any of those things, you just enter giveaways, you will have a chance to win, but these things I have found do increase your chance of winning giveaways. So I really hope that this video was interesting, and I hope that these tips help you win some Goodreads giveaways. Feel free to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to me if you haven't already. All my other social media, including the link to my Goodreads page and my Bookstagram, will be linked down in the description below, so go ahead and check out all of those links. I upload videos 3 times a week, so I will see you this Friday for my next video. Until next time, goodbye!